Perfect. So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to UIUX Design Fundamentals. Decided to, switch your career, excel your careers in UIUX. Okay. So, in today's lecture, it would be a very informative lecture, very introductory lecture, and not something that will be practicing or will be doing something in practical. Okay. So सबसे ज़्यादा जो हम focus करेंगे is mainly what is the course about, how the course will advance. At the same time, course में क्या क्या हम सिखाएंगे, what all things are there that will cover throughout the course, and why UI UX, how UI UX will cover all of it. ठीक है, in today's introduction lecture. So आज का lecture ज़्यादा लंबा नहीं होगा क्योंकि बहुत सारा theoretical ज्ञान होगा, थोड़ा experience होगा, but overall it would be something that you can map out, and कुछ चीजें ऐसी होगी जहाँ पे you'll have to focus on. So I'll be telling you guys one by one as to what needs to be taken care, how things to be done. ठीक है, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं होगा, I don't want कि जो ऐसे बाकी इंस्टीट्यूट वाले जो स्टार्ट करते हैं कि भाई आप ये कोर्स कर लो आपको जॉब मिल जाएगी. No, I am not saying that. No one can say that, because for UI UX it is something else. So everything will cover. Okay. So let me share my screen. We'll get started with the introduction. Okay. So I'll call out the names and one by one just give you an introduction to the entire cohort. So the reason why we have less people in the batch is so that I can give one-to-one mentorship to each and everyone. Because if you go to other institutes, right, one-to-one mentorship, as I say, right? So that's why the batch size is less, so that everyone can have access to my experience, to my mentorship. So we'll start with. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll start with Honey first. So give us your introduction as to what do you do, why UI UX and not something else, in a short 2 minutes or something like that.
Okay, so good evening all. Myself, Hani Andani. I've just completed my MCA, and my hobby is photography. So, like, I'm interested for designing. So, I've choose this UI UX field, and I'm from Ahmednagar.
Okay. Manoj, I think Lakshmi, right? Yeah, Lakshmi.
Good evening, sir. Myself is Lakshmi Yadav.
Yes. So क्यों UI UX आपने select किया और बाकी कोई course क्यों नहीं?
I am interested in designing.
Okay. फ्री होके बोलिए, ऐसा कोई इशू नहीं है. As UI UX designer, it is important कि आप बात करें, तो ये आप अपना डिजाइन्स एक्सप्लेन कर पाएंगे क्लाइंट को. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही लक्ष्मी.
My hobby is UI UX design. I am interested in designing.
Okay.
That's it.
ठीक है. No worries. Asha.
Hi everyone, good evening. So I am basically from Bangalore. The idea to learn about UI UX. So I finished my graphic designing almost like 2 years ago, and I lost the touch of being a creative person. So I wanted to come back to it. The only reason is that over my work experience, I observed that I'm more of a person wherein I had cross-disciplinary skills, wherein you have psychology, you have a lot of things, and I find myself more similar to this UI UX because UI UX is also more related to the skills that I already have. So I thought I should take it as a profession further, and that's the idea of learning it.
Okay, okay, super. Srishti.
Hi, sir. Here I'm Srishti from Bangalore. I'm working in the Taj Yashwantpur. I'm a chef, and I've taken this course for the designing. I have like designing and Photoshop, sketching, and all as well. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
okay, thanks. Julie.
Hi, I'm Juhi Kanodia. Actually, I'm a software developer for
Oh.
past 3 years, and I've been working on backend and database. I've like literally lost a touch in designing part, and UI UX will give a boost to my profile. So I've choose this.
Okay, okay, nice. Rishi.
Hello, hi. I'm Rishi, and I'm pursuing my MBA in Berlin right now. And I always had keen interest in UI UX and design thinking. So moving towards into product management profile and even UI UX for my personal projects and even as a career, I do like it. So that's why I'm pursuing UI UX.
Okay, super. Sushil.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Sushil Dongre. I am from Mumbai. My qualification are completed in BA and also 1 year experience in graphic designing. And, and currently I have to learn about UI UX designing. So after that, we can improve my skills to this field.
Okay, great.
That's it.
Niket.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Nikhil. I'm based in Canada right now. So I've been working as a front-end developer since last 10 years. But I wanted to explore more into creative field such as UI UX. I'm more inclined towards UX such as design flow, research and everything. Because every time the design which is implemented while coding, you always find some flaws in the design. So I'm more keen and interested towards working with UX now. I think I'm losing a bit of interest into coding now. So I joined this course. Thank you.
Super. Lokpal.
Hi everyone. Myself Lokpal, and I just completed my BSc Computer Science graduation from Mumbai University, and I'm a graphic designer also. The reason why I'm doing UI UX course is just to upskill like my career as and my designs also.
Okay, great. Super. So everyone is fine with English and Hindi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because at times I might speak in Hindi also, and at times I might speak in English. So that it's more comfortable for everyone. All right. So let's move ahead. So
Yeah.
this was introduction about each other, right? As to whom we are going to spend the 3 months learning UI UX. A little bit about myself. Uh, you guys know my name, of course. So I've been in this field since like 11 plus years now. I started my career after my BSc IT. So to be very honest, I was not that good of a student. So I was very much sure that I don't want to, do engineering because I couldn't sit at one place and rectify a lot of stuff, just get marks and pass. I was not that kind of a student. So I wanted something more practical. So I opted for BSc IT purposely so that I can get some more time. I can do my practical things. I can learn something apart from my curriculum, right? But the thing is, overall, I like being around IT, about information technology, since I was in 8th standard. Maybe I was like 13 years or 14 years. So I've been around computers since then. I used to open up my computer, I used to fix it by myself. By God's grace, I have not taken a single class till now to learn any of the languages. So I can code almost all the front-end languages, including React, Angular, Vue.js. Uh, I can do wireframing, UX, I can do UI design, everything, by God's grace. But the only reason that I could do this is because of certain things, certain factors that I used to cater them in my life. Okay, that is my second point, which is the most important point, right? That is nothing but sincerity. So I really love IT. It can be anything, right? So you give me a week's time, and I'll be able to cope up with any language, programming language, right? So that is something that I like. So the first part that we all have to focus, is the sincerity. So why sincerity? Because as I mentioned, in these 3 months, you will learn a lot about UX, you will learn a lot about UI, the theoretical, the practical knowledge out of it. But if you don't practice it, apart from the lectures, it is not going to help you, right? It is not going to help you, because only if you do this sincerely, you can build up your portfolio. Okay? And for UI UX, it is not unlike other degrees where you have an IIT degree, where you have IIM degree. If you have done your MBA, you get a job. No. In UI UX, no matter what institute you study, no matter what institute you study, it has to be your portfolio that people look at, right? If your portfolio is not standing out, if your portfolio is not speaking for your work, then it is very difficult for you to get an internship or a job. So the primary focus of the entire course would be to build your portfolio. So for that, you cannot do that just by spending 4 hours in a week in the lecture, right? So all the assignments that I'll give you, that I'll provide you guys have to complete that. And on top of that, if you guys are done with it in the given time, ask for more assignments, ask for more tasks. That will help you enhance your portfolio. That will help you be more consistent, because that is the third important thing, that is consistency. If you stop designing, or if someone thinks कि नहीं अब मुझे सब आता है, मैं UI UX डिजाइनर का प्रो हो चुका हूँ, मेरे को कुछ भी दे दे मैं बना दूंगा, mark my words, that is the end of your career. Even after 11 years, I cannot say that I am a very pro champ in UI UX. No. Why? Because every single day there is something or the other coming to the table. So जब हमने शुरू किया था, I used to do UI UX when we used to do wireframes in the Photoshop. ठीक है? So तब कोई tools नहीं थे, तब कोई Adobe XD या Figma नहीं थे. There was nothing of that sort, right? So we started doing wireframes on Photoshop. Then came InVision. So if you create your designs or your wireframes in Photoshop or Illustrator, you put them to InVision and you prototype it. So InVision was just a tool for prototype, correct? And then came different tools like Azure, XD, and Figma is after that. Yeah? So things will keep moving on. So now we have Framer, we have Blender, and whatnot, correct? So we have to keep ourselves upgrading. So that is why we need that consistency. We need the sincerity that will help you build up your portfolio, and not just the course. So that is why I say that it's your portfolio that should speak for yourself. Knowledge is secondary, because when you apply for a job, the first thing that they'll ask is, what is your portfolio? Even if you are a fresher, correct? Even if you are a fresher, they'll ask for your portfolio. If it has only one project, but the project is outstanding, then they'll reach out to you for an interview. They'll reach out to you for understanding, do you exactly have the knowledge or not, correct? So this is about myself. This is about the most important factors that you have to take care throughout the lectures. Okay. Moving to the another part of the introduction. What exactly is UI UX? Okay. So everyone has their own philosophy. Everyone has their own understanding of UI UX. So of course we know that UX stands for user experience. Okay. So this is a dictionary or a wiki or a Google, uh, what we say, explanation for user experience. That this is how a user interacts with experiencing a product or a service. Okay, that is user experience. All right, but what exactly it means? It is something that you feel. You may not see it, but you feel it. So let me give you an example. So if you see on the screen, we have different sort of navigations, both on the desktop and on the mobile. But if you see, if you focus, there is always a reason why certain things are done in a way. So if you focus, all the logos are on the left. Why? If you focus, all the action items are mostly on the right. Why? It has a reason. Because subconsciously, users scan the data from left to right. So the first thing that they see is the logo, right? First thing that they see is the logo. So that is how UX is all about. That you understand the user, you build something for the user, okay, using their cognitive load, using their existing knowledge that they hold, and then giving them the experience where it is not overloaded to them. So मान लो कि मैं आज पहले दिन ही आप लोग को इतने बड़े बड़े jargons थ्रो करता हूँ कि भाई हिट्स लॉ, ये लॉ, वो लॉ, कॉग्निटिव लोड, गोल ग्रेडियंट इफेक्ट, सब ऊपर से जाएगा. ये क्या बोला? करेक्ट. सेम वे जब यूजर भी जब कोई एप्लीकेशन या वेबसाइट यूज करते हैं, दे आर नॉट यूज्ड टू इट फ्रॉम डे वन कि ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. सो दे ब्राउज डिफरेंट वेबसाइट्स और वहां से उनकी जो लर्निंग है, we use that on our website applications or platforms so that it's easier for them to understand the website. Correct? Because कोई प्रोडक्ट होता है तो उसकी मैनुअल आती है, वेबसाइट की कोई मैनुअल नहीं होती है. मोबाइल ऐप होता है, सो हमको किसी ने नहीं सिखाया कि फेसबुक कैसे यूज करते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम कैसे यूज करते हैं. स्टिल वी नो इट हाउ. दैट इज यूएक्स, दैट इज यूजर एक्सपीरियंस. वी ऑलरेडी न्यू that this is how it is supposed to be. If it is a card, I know it is supposed to be clicked. I know in the navigation if something is highlighted, it is active state. मुझे किसी ने बताया नहीं था, कोई ऐसा लिस्ट नहीं था मेरे पास डिक्शनरी जैसा कि कलर वाला है मतलब एक्टिव स्टेट है. So some things are what you experience and not just what you see. So अगर आपके सामने एक चेयर रखी गई है तो उसके लिए कोई मैनुअल की जरूरत नहीं है for you to understand that someone has to sit on it. देख के पता चल जाता है कि yeah, that is a chair, you have to sit on it. टेबल देख के समझ में आ जाता है, you have to keep something on it, you don't have to sit on it. So that is experience, that is user experience. ये सारी नॉलेज, ये सारे जो चीजें हैं, यूजर का बिहेवियर है, वो यूज करके भी डिजाइन द एक्सपीरियंसेस, नॉट द यूआई. आई एम ऑलवेज सेइंग एक्सपीरियंसेस. क्योंकि इमेजिन आप ब्रीथ करते हो, देयर इज ऑक्सीजन, you don't see it, you feel it. हाँ है भाई. And when do you feel it? जब वो नहीं होता है तब. Imagine आप गूगल पे हो, ठीक है, everyone uses it. हमको किसी ने नहीं बताया how to use UPI. हमको किसी ने नहीं बताया how to use Google Pay app, and which is so seamlessly done. Why? Because we already knew certain things. स्कैन कैसे करना है, मोबाइल नंबर डाल के जैसे मैं लिखूंगा, देयर इज जस्ट वन सिंगल फील्ड ऑफ अमाउंट. सो दैट इज द एक्सपीरियंस दैट दे ब्रॉट इन द पेमेंट सिस्टम विद गूगल पे. राइट? सो आई गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल एज टू व्हेन आई से दैट यू फील इट एंड नॉट सी इट. सो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड कोट कि अपने घर पे रेफ्रिजरेटर होता है, राइट? वो है बस ठंडा कर रहा है चीजों को, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, यू डोंट नोटिस इट. बट दैट्स अ वेरी गुड एग्जांपल ऑफ गुड डिजाइन, बिकॉज द मोमेंट इट स्टॉप्स वर्किंग, you feel it, क्योंकि it starts thinking. Correct? So same way, अगर आपका ऐप अच्छा है दिखने में, but if it is not functional, if it is not giving a good experience, then it is not a good app. A design is something which helps the user to reduce his efforts. That is the user experience part, right? The majority part where nowadays product focuses on is the user experience. क्यों? क्योंकि इतने सारे apps है, इतना सारा stress बढ़ गया है, highest time spend होता है मोबाइल एप्स और वेबसाइट्स पे. सो कैसे सिंप्लीफाई करें उनका एक्सपीरियंस, कैसे ईज ऑफ यूज दे, दैट इज आवर जॉब एज अ डिजाइनर. सो डोंट थिंक या डोंट फील कि मैं सिर्फ वेबसाइट और मोबाइल ऐप बनाती. नो, वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग सॉल्यूशंस, वी आर डिजाइनिंग सॉल्यूशंस, वी आर मेकिंग लाइफ इजियर फॉर द यूजर्स. कुछ साल पहले हमारे घर पे सेल्समैन आते थे, एवरीवन मस्ट हैव सीन दैट. क्यों? प्रोडक्ट्स बेचने. नाउ वी आर डिजाइनिंग सेल्समैन, क्योंकि एक वेबसाइट है दैट इज नथिंग बट अ सेल्समैन 24/7 फॉर योर बिजनेस. करेक्ट? सो इमेजिन हाउ sophisticated, how beautiful, how smart that salesman should be for the users to attract. Correct? So कुछ सेल्समैन होते हैं ना कि जब वो आपसे बात करते हैं, यू फील कि हाँ ठीक है, भले मैं लूंगा नहीं बट बोल रहा अच्छा है, सुन लेता. It happens. So that is the job of a UX designer. That is the job of a UI designer, to hold the user. और वो hold कब होगा? सिर्फ UI से नहीं होगा, UX से होगा. If you are focusing on UX, UI would be much simpler. And if you are only focusing on the UI, ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा हो जाएगा केक किसी और ने बना दिया है, आप उस पर बस आइसिंग लगा रहे हैं. ठीक है? But what we want to focus in the course is both. You also bake the cake and also learn how to do icing on it. Okay, so moving ahead, what we will be covering is, lots and lots of UX laws. So why UX laws? क्योंकि everything is a science. सिर्फ ऐसे हवा में नहीं बोल सकते हम. ठीक है? क्लाइंट को जब हम डिजाइन बता रहे हैं, वायरफ्रेम बता रहे हैं, अगर आप क्लाइंट को ऐसा बोलते हो कि क्लाइंट पूछ रहे हैं आपने क्यों बनाया, एंड इफ यू से बस मुझे अच्छा लगा, अगर आप बोलते हो बस मुझे अच्छा लगा, यू आर नॉट अ यूएक्स डिजाइन, यू आर नॉट अ यूआई डिजाइन. बिकॉज डिजाइन इज सब्जेक्टिव. आपको अच्छा लगा उससे डिजाइन, क्लाइंट क्या करेगा? करेक्ट? यू हैव टू गिव देम टेक्निकल रीजंस. और वो टेक्निकल रीजंस कहाँ से आएंगे? तो यूएक्स लॉस से और बिहेवियरल साइंस से. राइट? सो जब हमारा ये बेस स्ट्रांग होगा ना, अबाउट यूएक्स लॉस, बिहेवियरल साइंस, about the question why, the very important question that every client will ask, the very important question as a UX designer you have to ask and answer is why. Why this button is here? Why this section is designed in this particular way? Why this particular navigation is designed in this way? Okay, so every why, if you have the answer, convey it to the client. बहुत सारों को यहाँ पर पता होगा, जब हम जेरोक्स वाले के जाते हैं, राइट, सो दे आल्सो प्रोवाइड दिस सर्विस कि वो आपको कुछ छोटा मोटा डिजाइन वर्क करके दे देंगे. राइट? बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं ना, एक छोटा सा वो लोगो बना के दे दो, या लेटर हेड बना के दे दो, विजिटिंग कार्ड बना के दे दो, ब्रोशर बना के दे दो, वो लोग करके दे देते हैं. बट उनमें और हम में फर्क क्या है? ये फर्क है. उसने अपने हिसाब से डिजाइन बना दी, मैं उसको जाके बोलता हूँ एक काम करो ना, फॉन्ट थोड़ा बड़ा कर दो, लोगो थोड़ा बड़ा कर दो, काम करो कलर थोड़ा चेंज कर दो, ये फोटो हटा के ये फोटो डाल दो, वो सब कर देगा. वो आपसे एक भी बार नहीं पूछेगा ऐसा क्यों करना है, क्योंकि उसके पास रीजन ही नहीं है. क्लाइंट बोल रहा है करके दे दो, खत्म करो बात. Whereas we as UX UI designers, we are different. We have to give them reasoning. अगर क्लाइंट पूछ रहा है या क्लाइंट बोल रहा है कि थोड़ा फॉन्ट बढ़ाओ, तो उससे पूछो क्यों बढ़ाऊं. राइट? क्लाइंट गुस्सा नहीं होगा, ट्रस्ट मी, दिस इज माय एक्सपीरियंस. क्लाइंट गुस्सा नहीं होगा. क्लाइंट से भी रीजनिंग लो. इफ ही इज गिविंग सम फीडबैक, व्हाई इज ही गिविंग सम फीडबैक? इज देयर एनी वैलिड रीजन फॉर इट? क्योंकि आई ऑलवेज टर्म दिस दैट यूएक्स डिजाइनर्स आर a bridge between users and business. ठीक है? क्योंकि यूजर की नीड अलग होती है और बिजनेस की नीड अलग होती है। आप सबको पता होगा स्नैपचैट सबने ऐप यूज किया होगा। जब स्नैपचैट ऐप बनाया था, when it was created, right, it was not this app. It was not this app. It was a game called as Peekaboo. Okay, but people started using it differently. So हुआ क्या, बिजनेस अलग था और यूजर ने उसको यूज अलग तरीके से किया, अडेप्ट अलग तरीके से किया. So the needs are different, correct? So as a UX designer, it is our job to bridge that gap. जो business को चाहिए, that we have to provide, but we have to make sure that we give the users what they want, correct? We give the users what they want. You cannot be biased all the time. आप हमेशा ये नहीं बोल सकते हो कि नहीं क्लाइंट ने बोला इसलिए मैंने कर दिया, नहीं. Think for the users. Think about the users. Only then you can be a good designer. If you just listen to the client and do what client says, that means you are a DTP operator again. Okay? We don't have to be. We don't want to be. We don't want to be an operator. We want to be designers. We all here. Okay? So इसलिए reasoning होना बहुत जरूरी है. उसके लिए we have to study UX laws. We have to study behavioral science. So what all things do we cover in user experience? So we'll start with user research first. ठीक है, जहां पर हम understand करेंगे कि what is, who is the user, user क्या चाह रहा है, ठीक है, user को क्या चाहिए. Secondly, when we think about users, there are different set of research. अब मान लो हमारे पास कोई एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर आया है, ठीक है, जिसकी ऑलरेडी वेबसाइट या प्लेटफॉर्म या मोबाइल ऐप है, तो उसका रिसर्च अलग होगा. If we have a customer whose business is there, okay, but the website or platform or app is not there, in that case the research will be different. And there can be one more sort of customer where he comes up with a completely new idea. So there the research will be completely different, right? Because there you don't have any competitors. The idea is new. Whom are you going to benchmark? Whom are you going to look for? क्या research कर लो, correct? So for that reason, the first 2 points, user research and general research, are very, very important. So imagine that you get a client, okay, and it is for an existing business. So what all things do you do? You first see their current stats, their Google Analytics, their heat maps. You see what are the behaviors of current users on the platform, on the website. You bring out those stats. Okay. If the second sort of a client where the business is there, but there is no website or app, so that means you have to focus on the competitors then. That in that particular domain, what are the competitors that they are doing? Correct. So you have to do competitive analysis. You have to do that in any which way, but on the second part, you have to do it more precisely, right? As to what is the trend in that particular domain. How are the websites designed? What are the apps doing? What sort of features or functionality they are providing? Okay? So that is something that you have to look out for. And if the idea is completely new, then still you have to do some benchmarking about the look and feel, about the structure, about the feel of it. But over there, you will again have to answer a lot of why. That the idea is new. So you have to conduct surveys. You have to conduct interviews with the users as to if this is the idea, how will the user react to it? What is that the user would expect from it? Correct? So in that particular case, the user research will be completely different. Okay. So that is why when we say user experience, it is all about the users. वरना सिर्फ experience भी बोल सकते थे. But when we say user experience, user is at the core. Okay. And what we give to the user is the business needs, but in a way that user should get accustomed to. Okay. So user research, general research. So we'll do a lot of competitive analysis. We'll see what are the general stats that we can have, the percentage of users, the target audience, and then we move ahead to the user personas. So personas are the key. Why? Because you need to know as to for whom are you designing. So Srushti, she is a chef, right? So imagine that she is cooking for a kid. Okay. So she cannot make spicy food. Or on the other hand, she cannot even make very sweet food. Right? It has to be a very good balanced diet for a kid. So that's why if you see in the kids menu, you have you know mac and cheese, you have fries, you have potato wedges, etc. Why? Because they are not so harsh on the tongue. Correct? You feel good. So the same way, users are really very important. User personas, to be specific, are really very important. So personas can be of different categories. They can be of different age groups. There can be age range of a persona. Okay. So defining the persona help us to define the next step, that is the user journey of a particular persona. So journey can be from different ways. ऐसा नहीं होगा that everyone lands on the homepage only. If you guys came from Instagram, right? You guys landed on WhatsApp. Then I gave you the link or the brochure. Then some of them they directly landed on the website. Some of them landed on Instagram. So that is the journey that we have to map out. That what are the different ways how user will land on the website or the mobile app. And in that particular case, this persona is going to perform such actions. The second part of the persona is going to perform this particular action, right? So that is why user personas help us define the user journeys. The fourth point, we combine all the journeys into one. We stitch out the business needs, and then we create a final information architecture. So now what is information architecture? It includes all sort of pages. It includes all sort of screens that the application or the website will have. Okay. So now this is the base. The top 5 points are the base to our user experience. Okay. Once we finalize the information architecture, we know that this is going to be the navigation. This is going to be my journey of the website or the application or the platform. Then finally we get started with the wireframe stage. So in wireframe, what we do is we define each and every section of all the pages that we have defined in information architecture. So every section needs to have reasoning as to why I am designing this particular section in this particular way. Why testimonials are upfront and why call to actions are at the bottom. Everything has a reason, right? So all those reasonings we'll have to use here when we design the wireframe. All the research that we did, we have to take care of that in the wireframe. So wireframe is something that clients will like a lot. They will brainstorm a lot on it. Okay, that is the skeleton of your website or app or platform. That is the skeleton. जब कोई building बनाते हैं, ठीक है, directly शुरू नहीं हो जाते हैं. चीनियों थोड़ा लेके चलो खोदना चालू करो. Let's build a building. नहीं. There is a way to it. You first create a blueprint to it, right? That this building will be. Then you see as to how deep the foundation of the building should be, correct? So similar way, we are building the foundation of our website with all the 5 points above, and then we start building the blueprint of the website or the app, okay, in the form of wireframe. So a lot of things will be taken care in the wireframe, like the content bucket. What is the amount of content that we need on particular section? What call to actions do we need and where? Why do we need those call to actions? Different types of call to actions, correct? So all those needs to be taken care in the wireframes. So when we deliver this wireframes to the UI designers, You have to give them the exact download as to what is the business need, why we have designed the wireframes in a particular way. Everything needs to be conveyed, right? Also, before we move to the next stage, which is the user interface part. In this UX UI field, right, you can either be a UX designer, you can either be a UI designer. In freelance, of course, you can do both. It's completely fine. But as per current trend, in job, in an agency or in a product company, there are different roles to it. Okay, so you can either be a UX researcher, you can either be a UX designer, where you can have the wireframes, design the wireframes. You can be just the UI designers. You can just be an animator, जहाँ पर आप सिर्फ जितने भी एलिमेंट्स हैं आप उसका एनिमेट करोगे, ग्राफिक्स बनाओगे, इलस्ट्रेशंस बनाओगे, उसका एनिमेट करोगे. ठीक है. सो अभी बहुत सारी फील्ड वाइड हो चुकी है. So in product companies, they hire individual people for individual tasks. Whereas in agency, you will find that one particular team, UX team, is doing everything. Okay. So if you, and I always say this to everyone when they are, starting their career, that when you are young, work to learn, not to earn. Because more and more you learn, right? It's very easier to earn. So don't worry about the job, don't worry about the internship. काम अच्छा करोगे वो आ ही जाएगा. वो 3 years में हमने देखा है. And it is fact. It is very true. So focus on building yourself. So ये story शायद सबको पता होगी. There were two lumberjacks जो झाड़ काटते, right? So both of them used to do very nice job of cutting the trees every day. हुआ ऐसा कि after few days, one of them took like 2-3 hours to cut one single tree and used to come back. Whereas on the other hand, the second guy, he also used to take same amount of time, 2-3 hours, but he used to cut 2-3 trees. So the first guy was puzzled. Why can I cut only one tree and the other one can cut 2 or 3 trees? So he went up to him and asked him, what is the issue? So then he said that when I am done with cutting the trees, right, I don't waste my time. What I do is I sharpen my axe. I sharpen my क्या बोलते इसको आरी, lumberjack जो use करता है, right? So I do that. I sharpen my skills, and that is why I keep on upgrading myself. So in UX UI also, you have to keep on upgrading yourself. You have to sharpen your skills. That is why I pointed out in the very start of the lecture that sincerity and consistency is the key to UI UX. Of course, philosophical लगता है वो, but that is the truth. If you stop designing, if you stop practicing, you lose your touch to Figma. You lose your touch to design. फिर वो आपका alignment issue होगा, color समझ में नहीं आएगा, correct? Then you'll find issues. So we have to cover all of it, जो हम करेंगे हमारे पूरे लेक्चर में. And then we have user interface, correct? So user interface में क्या होगा? We'll cover this particular thing. जहाँ पर again grid system, the base. Okay, what is the grid system of different platforms? Website का अलग होता है, mobile apps का अलग होता है, and there is a different grid system for dashboards and admin panels. Color theory. So for color theory, we will also have a guest lecture. Okay, he is a colleague of mine, so he'll be taking that particular lecture. Then we have typography, the core of, I would say, user interface, because ultimately the content is something that user will take home. Okay, it is the content that he is going to read. And by the way, people don't read content. I know ये थोड़ा contradictory लग रहा है, but they scan the data. They scan the data, and after that, once they are convinced enough, they start reading it. Okay, so to make them read, we use micro animations, scroll animations. We use graphics and make their life easier for them to focus on the typography when they need it. Okay, so all of these will help us design good user interfaces for the wireframes that we have done. Okay, for the wireframe that we have done. So mota if you have to focus on, or if you have to understand, this is UI UX. This is UI UX, where the entire experience part, the entire psychology, the entire behavioral science of a user is part of the UX. But UI, user interface, what users see, okay, the look and feel of it, correct? That is the secondary part to it. Because आप डिजाइन कितना ही अच्छा बना लो, you will see a lot and lot of designs on dribble, ठीक है, बट बहुत सारे उसमें से इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पाएंगे क्योंकि वो एनिमेट हो रहा है तो दिख रहा है, ठीक है, बट यूजर उसको यूज नहीं कर पाएगा, ठीक है. So that is where user experience and user interface play an important role. Okay. So अगर आपको कोई पूछे is user interface and user experience different? Yes, of course it is different. But user interface, okay, is a part of UX. That is the true answer. Because UX is not completed until the website or anything is live. क्योंकि जब डेवलप भी हो जाता है, so the UX designer again have to review it. उसमें क्या ठीक है, उसमें क्या ठीक नहीं है, वो सब उसको ध्यान रखना है. As a UX designer, UI designer तो ठीक है, अलाइनमेंट ये वो सब देख लेगा. But a lot of time what happens is develop होने के बाद we feel कि नहीं यार ये यहाँ पर गलत हो गया. So that is when you can tell the client or you can iterate that further to improvise that a little. So ये जो हम टेस्टिंग करते हैं ना, जैसे we will have multiple options, ये भी एक ऑप्शन है, ये भी एक ऑप्शन है. So we give that to the users and we see their feedback as to who is performing how. तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? A/B testing, right? Usability testing, but how people are using it actually. ठीक है? So उसके लिए भी tools हैं and it is not that big of a task to be very honest, usability testing, क्योंकि ultimately जब हम ये client को दिखाते हैं, so client are nothing but users हमारे लिए. So you get that third view. So client जब आपको feedback देगा, take it as a user's feedback, not only client's feedback. तो ना आप अपने user interface हो या फिर experience हो, आप उसको ज़्यादा enhance कर पाओगे. Okay. So this was about the presentation. This is about what is UI UX. This is what we are going to cover throughout the course. And everything that we just talked about would be in practical terms. Okay, only the first lecture, of course, the introduction is too much of yarn, too much of theoretical, too much of one-sided way talking, right? We would be, completing each and everything of this in the user experience and the user interface one by one. We'll do live on the lectures, we'll do practical sessions. आप लोग live बनाओगे, I'll give live feedbacks, and even I'll be doing the same practice as you guys. Okay, so it would be an interesting journey. I'm very much sure. It would be really a fun session. It won't be के बाकी जैसे हम lectures attend करते थे college, school में या कोई और classes में. It won't be that sort of a lecture. It would be very fun and interesting lectures where you can cross question me, you can ask me why this, why not that, correct? So बहुत मजा आने वाला है. So everyone be prepared for it. I have already sent you guys the Figma tutorials. So again, just to put that point, our course is not to learn Figma. Our course is to learn UI UX. Figma is just a tool, and Figma guys have put lots and lots and lots of tutorials on their official channel on YouTube also. Okay, and they have designed it in such a simple way. अगर आपका MS Paint आता है तो आप Figma use कर सकते हो. It is not a rocket science. It is that simple. Using of shapes, using of fonts, and you have to just see as to where are the different options for particular thing. That's it. That's it. But if you have the knowledge of UI UX, tool does not matter. Tool does not matter at all. Why? Because आज शायद Figma है, कल कुछ और आ जाएगा. So tool might change, but आपकी जो knowledge है UI UX की, that will remain the same. Okay, that will remain the same. So that was it. on the introduction lecture. So I want to confirm one thing for the next lecture. Of course, वो Figma के जितने भी tutorials हैं वो please complete करना. Please complete those lectures because we need to brush up on Figma before we get started into actual design, which is from the next lecture, of course. So I hope that everyone is available on our next lecture, that is on Saturday. Or are you guys planning for Navratri also? Please raise your hands, those who are, or let me just do this quickly.
Harsh, it will be, I mean, if it is okay to reschedule from my side, because I'm traveling tomorrow and
Just
might be back on Sunday.
yeah.
Hi Yash, I would like to reschedule it because I have Saturday one event in the hotel, so I have to be there. So I'll be like going to 11 o'clock the shift, and I'll be coming at night 11:30 or 12 o'clock.
Okay, so I've created a small poll. Yeah, so I would request every one of you all to answer that poll so that it's easier for everyone. It's in the what we say activity panel on the bottom. So we have 11. We are 11 over here today. And by the way, this poll is only for this Saturday because of this Navratri. I am asking this. Others, please respond to the poll.
Hello, hi Yash.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I leave? I have some orders in the kitchen, so it would be very helpful for me.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Srishti.
I have the orders in the kitchen, so can I leave, please?
Can you write that down on the chat? I'm not able to hear you properly.
Yeah, okay, just.
Okay, so 6 of you guys are available on Saturday. The rest, please reply at least yes or no so we can conclude the poll. Enable to open poll. It's here. Yeah, sure, no worries. So today's lecture is done. So you can, of course, please continue with the job. Thank you, Srishti.
I am not able to open the poll, so I mean, you can count me as the seventh person
Sorry.
not available.
Acha.
I'm unable to open the poll. You can count me as the seventh person for not available on Saturday.
Okay, so okay, you are not available on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kunika, you are available or have you voted? Okay, so we'll stick to the lecture as per schedule. So whoever is missing out, right, can view the recording of the lecture. All the okay, not available for Saturday. Okay, no worries. So the recording will be available. So you guys can view the recording and get back to me with the doubts. So the first lecture won't be that heavy. Okay. Again, I mean the second lecture won't be that heavy. We'll get started live. And it would be a little practical session. So you guys can replicate those in the practice session after the recording. Okay. Once you guys see the recording, you can practice the same thing, what we do in the next lecture. So because majority of them are available, so we'll continue with the lecture. Anika and Yeah, Konika, you have something to say? Okay, that's a cool. Nikit,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to know that what is the difference between a UX designer and a product designer? Because in some of the job descriptions which I see, they list job as a product designer, and some of them list as a UX designer.
so in the UX UI field, to be honest, there are many different categories, but everyone does the same job. To be honest, okay. So you will find job openings as product designers. You will find job openings as UX designers. You will also find job openings as UX developers. Okay, but you have to further drill down to the job description as to when they say product designers, are they looking at a physical product? Are they looking at a project manager? Or are they literally asking for a UX designer? You know, that they do the requirement gathering, they build out the product, they pitch out new features, new uh, you know uh, subjects to add to the uh, application. So you have to further drill down in the project job description itself as to what they are demanding. Because just by the title, nowadays you cannot really say as to who is a product designer, who is a UX designer, or who is a UI designer. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Rishi
And
also,
also, will we be getting this recording
yeah,
after today's
everyone,
session?
yes, everyone will get the recording for all the sessions. So it will
Okay.
be hosted on YouTube. I'll be sharing the link of the playlist to everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
So Rishi, you also had something to say?
Yeah, hi Harsh. I was just had a question that with UI UX and developing with the generative AI, are we going to talk about AI being used in UI UX field in this?
Yeah. So what? So it's not part of it as a course, but in
Mhm,
the course duration, right? What we'll be doing is we'll see as to how AI can help us. So as I
mhm,
mentioned, that we'll be having general research, we'll have user research. So over there, ChatGPT can help us. You know, so instead of googling out stuff, ChatGPT can give us some preset
okay.
data to us. You know, so that is how
Mhm,
we will get the help of AI.
mhm,
Sorry, we will take the help of AI for our job. But of course, it's not going to replace or anything us because
mhm.
every product, every company will need custom designs, tailored designs, which AI
Yeah.
cannot do. Right?
Mhm.
So yeah,
No,
we can.
I was just asking as in how it will, because it's going to help us in many ways. Like there are
Yeah,
tools
yeah,
which help us in UI designing with just giving the prompts. We get wireframes. There are tools out there in the market now. So
yeah, but
to make this faster, and so
no.
that's why.
Again. So that can give you a very basic outline, you know,
Hmm.
but that is not something that you can use it in your
Yeah.
active projects. So if you just
Hmm.
want to understand or if you just want an idea from reference perspective, then you can use those
Hmm.
tools, of course, you know,
Okay.
to start
Hmm.
fresh. But of course, you cannot use them as it is.
Hmm. Yeah,
Every
that's what I am trying to like. Even Chat GPT we can't use as it is.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly,
yeah.
because ChatGPT data is of September 2021.
Yeah.
But if you use Bard, which is Google application, right?
Yes.
So you get the fresh data,
Yeah.
current data. Yeah. So you have to use it smartly that your work can be done smartly, smarter way, and easier way.
Yeah, that's what I was like when we are learning in UI UX field, and when we are designing and we have writing descriptions or some another like with user personas,
Yeah.
uh, we can use this AI. So I
And
just wanted to ask that we going to learn those skills, how to use the AI in this field?
Not part of the course, but yeah, I'll guide you guys as to where we can and how we can.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So our next lecture will be as per schedule on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. same time. We'll get started with Figma, practice it a little bit in the lecture. So those who are not going to be part of it, I would send you guys the recording. Okay. Go through the recording, practice it, and in the next lecture, which is on Wednesday again, we will plan out and get your doubts or any questions if any. Okay. So today we'll wind up here. We'll close our introduction session here. It was really nice meeting all of you, and hoping and we together can make this community even more wide, even more beautiful with our design and solutions. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, everyone. Good night,
Thank
guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.